So a while back, I did a video about the 3DS and how it was discontinued, and I said afterwards that there was going to be a part 2 where I was going to go actually in and actually talk about some of the games that I had on here, just some memories and whatnot. I'll go through my where is it on here? This thing. And then it never happened. Well, actually, it's not true. What happened was that I actually recorded it, and then the video actually got corrupted. I think that's what happened. It was something along those lines. It's been a long time now, but I don't know if that was the thing that crashed. No, that wasn't the thing that crashed my SD card. But the footage got corrupted. I remember it now because I actually recorded it with a webcam. My webcam did not like the 3DS at all, and the footage came out garbled and fucked up. So now we're here with a different setup here, and we're going to go through it now. Because I want to make this video now because the new thing is that the 3DS and Wii U, their eShops will be discontinuing games being sold on them. So that sucks. I'm sorry for like the layout. I know it's like this. And there's like a camera. I wasn't too sure what to do with this actually, because I wasn't too sure like what I was gonna do for this exactly. I had an idea, but like nothing like concrete. So here we go. This is my 3DS. I actually got this model. I don't know. Well, I got this particular model on my birthday a few years ago. A long time ago now. This thing is shown its age though because I need to have this on life support or else it dies within 5 minutes. That's fun. It also can't run the online for Super Smash Bros. 3DS. I almost said Ultimate, and then I almost said U, and then I was like, no, it's Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS, which is technically counted as Smash 4, and then Wii U is counted as Smash 5, even though they're basically the same game. I don't know, it's just how Nintendo does it internally. So we go to software library here. I had a lot of 3DS games. There's also going to be DS games in here too. I had a lot of these. Can I not use the cursor? You actually have to touch these. Wow. I don't remember that. But Bravely Default, I actually organized these in the first page right here where are some of my favorite games on the system. So I thought that was neat. So I have Bravely Default here. I really can't. Oh, you gotta use the circle thing. I was wondering why. I remember getting this on release day. I actually remember getting the collector's edition of this from a scalper because I wasn't able to pre-order it at my GameStop, and it was annoying as hell. I don't know why I wasn't able to, but I just remember I really wanted a collector's edition for this because I knew this was a game I was going to love to death from watching the preview. And then I also kept up with this game even before it came out. Like, it was coming out in Japan, I was keeping up with it. Because this was a sequel to 4 Heroes of Light, which was another DS game made by Square Enix. Basically, the same team made Bravely Default because they wanted that game to have its own series as opposed to being just a Final Fantasy spin-off. So they did, and they made Bravely Default, and then they made Bravely Second, which I remember this game. I actually left college classes early just to get this game in the mail, and I was so excited. This one was an actual pre-order I did get from GameStop, but I just remember playing this, and I was just in love with this game, man. I think I did boot it up recently just to kind of check it out, and I was like, oh, I say recently, that's like a year ago now. Oh my god. Surprise. I feel like I booted it up even more recently than that, but apparently no, a year ago. Same thing with Bravely Default. Damn. We also have Xenoblade Chronicles on here. I bought this just to have it because I was like, what if this gets scalped to death like the original Xenoblade? And I thought about it, and I was like, just in case, here it is. Sorry for the cut there. I actually using a different camera mode on my phone that I thought would look better. And it might in the first few 5 seconds. Not 5 seconds. First 5 to 4 minutes might look better than this quality now. But for some reason, it was only letting me record it 5 minutes at a time, even though I had a lot of space on my phone. So instead of just it randomly cutting off every 5 minutes, I'm just going to use it normally. So I don't think the quality is going to decrease that much. So I'm only rendering these at 1080p anyways, so it's going to be a big deal. World Ends With You, I was also a favorite game of mine. I'm not going to talk about DS games as much. I kind of wanted to talk about like 3DS games now. Omega Ruby, I got that on release. Well, actually, I couldn't get that on release. I only got Alpha Sapphire on release because I bought Omega Ruby, and I remember just feeling awkward in Aqua Sapphire because a lot of the Pokemon I wanted to use were like Pokemon from Ruby. Because I played Ruby a lot as a kid, and I want to actually play it again. I still have not fully played through that copy of Omega Ruby. I'm waiting for the day to get a 3DS capture card, and I want to stream it. That's something I still want to do, but I don't have a 3DS capture yet. I kind of had one. I bought a Katsu Kitty one years ago, but it never worked. It never worked, and I don't know why. I've complained to that company multiple times through emails, and at first I was like, oh, maybe it was because I was running that on my laptop, and my laptop wasn't great. I've had now 2 different gaming computers that are, well, this one's caught up with, well, it was caught up with current specs a few years ago, not as much anymore, but even then, I don't know, it still can't, the program glitches out, and I kind of hate that so much. I still want to get one from Loopy. I think that's what the guy's name is. I don't know what his name is. I just know he was the one with the weird, simplistic website. And I just want to buy a 3DS, send it to the dude, and be like, hey, do it. I will pay you. I swear to God, I will pay you. I just want a 3DS capture card so bad. I've wanted one for years. I think that's stopping me from playing a lot of my games again on the 3DS, because I just like having that, and then I can also put it on my fucking monitor, so I don't have to play off a small-ass screen. That's another nice thing about that. Anyways, Smash, yeah. This is the first game the first game I downloaded on here was New Leaf, but I think this might have been one of the few games I actually did have downloaded. Because back then I didn't download like any like main series games at all. Well, not main series, like AAA games, I should say. Usually what I would do is like I would buy everything physical. Now it's like now I go out of my way to buy everything for my Switch digital just so I have it on my Switch. And I'll have to like have a bunch of cartridges, and I don't have like it's so weird because if I actually had physically every Switch game I owned, my little game self, which you can't see, over to the right of me, it would be crowded as shit. I do like collecting video games physically, but like for the Switch in particular, I just wanted a full digital library so I wouldn't have to think about it. I just pick it up and like, oh, all my games are there. I don't have to be like the 3DS where I carry around a fucking bag. Oh my God, I thought they fell out, but no. I might have shown this off in the other video, but yeah, here is my my little bag I got from Club Nintendo. I think I did talk about this in another video, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I didn't want this to happen again. So, oh my God, that was so loud. I don't know how loud it's going to be picked up, but I didn't want that to happen again, so that's why I buy all my games digitally, for Switch in particular. Anyways, Pokemon Sun. People hate this game. People hate Gen 7. I almost called it 6. I like Pokemon Sun a lot. I think this game is underrated nowadays. Still one of the best Pokemon games I think out there. I think this is the last good Pokemon game, in my opinion, when it comes to main series titles. Unless you count Legends, because Pokemon Company counts Legends as a main series game, even though that is clearly a spin-off. At least to me, it will always be a spin-off. But before that, if you don't count that, and you count like Sword and Shield and all that other stuff, I still think that Pokemon Sun is like the best main series game since. I remember getting this release. I was so excited for like the Island Trials, and it was so different. I really enjoyed that. Like, same thing with Legends. Like, you don't like, it's cool to see a Pokemon game where you're not collecting gym badges, because even though those are fun to collect, I won't lie, it feels nice to have that formula and that flow change up. That's what I liked about Coliseum and XD as well. And this is my favorite Mystery Dungeon game. I don't know if this one is or Explorers of Time. Probably Super. Just for the pure fact that Super has a lot of quality of life to it. And it's still hard. And then recruiting Pokemon in this game isn't RNG. You do side quests and you get them. But on the contrast, you can't nickname any of them. And you can only get one per Pokemon. Unless you're evolving. Then you can get multiple, but that kind of sucks. Like, I won't lie, even though I do like the convenience of, hey, do a little side quest thing for me, I will join you. No RNG, no nothing. I fucking love that so much. Yo, this is also another game I was excited for. Because I'm a big Majora's Mask fan, and while this version of the game is, I think for the most part, is mostly better than the original, it's got issues that I don't think the original... I think the original is better in. Like, for some reason, they thought Deku Link, when he spins, he doesn't have full momentum, not memento, oh my god. And then Zora Link's, like, speedy, like, movement underwater being tied to magic is really weird. I don't know, those two are the weird things. Outside of that, I think this is basically better than the original so much. I watched that fucking video where the guy has the weird ass moon that was in everybody's recommendations, and I think that guy has a good point still. I don't remember all of his points because it's been a long time since I watched that video. I watched that video just to get it out of my fucking recommended. Oh my god. That's like the ugliest fucking thumbnail I've ever seen in my life. Well, you know, he fucking did it because he knew people would click on it because that thumbnail is ugly as shit. But I still think this version is really good, and if you were to pick it up and play it, really good. Okamiden was actually one of the first games I played on my 3DS, believe it or not. That was actually when I got it too, on May 6th, 2011. That's when I got my first 3DS. Solatorobo, I think I actually had this while I had my 3DS, right? Yeah, I did. Because that's actually cool to see when I bought that. I won't talk about DS games too much, like I said, but I will always say anytime I see Solatorobo, I regret not buying 2 copies of this game sealed, because I got my original copy for $20 and now it goes for over $300, and I am screaming at myself. I just remember going to GameStop and literally it was there. There was multiple copies there. They were sealed. They were cheap. I think they were discounted sealed because nobody was fucking buying them. And I was like, oh, I saw my friend play this game one time. I like the furries. I'll buy one. One of my biggest regrets in life, I think. I still think about that. Like, if I had $20 more, I would have bought 2 of them. This is the first game I bought for 3DS. I remember people were really hyped for it. I think this game still stands up, and I like it more than the original. It's nice. I need to beat Master Quest mode, but Master Quest mode is fucking weird, man. I'm editing this video in post, and I actually forgot to talk about Link Between Worlds. My dumbass glossed over this because I probably saw the other DS games around it in the GBA Virtual Console games. I was like, oh, yeah, that's another one of them, when it's not. Link Between Worlds is a pretty okay game. It's not my favorite Zelda. I like a lot of the things it does, though. I just didn't like that it was really short. I felt like there could have been like a post-game, I don't know, or something. It's not a bad thing, though, and it's pretty much an open-world Zelda game before Breath of the Wild to some degree. So if you're into that, really, really good game. Fuck the baseball minigame, though. I hate it. Anyways, back to the video. Now, this game, I actually beat, and I borrowed it from a friend of mine. This is the first Kingdom Hearts game I ever beat, which I bet to people who actually play Kingdom Hearts, that sounds like the craziest fucking thing. I like this game a lot. I still like this game a lot. I probably wouldn't play it on 3DS anymore. I can tell you that much. I'd probably play it on PS4 or PS5 or anywhere that's not on this. But it was still a cute little game. I played this for like a minute or two, and I didn't really do much in it. It's just like, oh, Theatrhythm Final Fantasy. Cool. Not for me, I guess. Pokemon X, you might notice, is the game with the most playtime on here. And there's a reason for that. Not because I like Pokemon X that much. I actually like it a lot more than people give it shit for, because I remember when this game was new, people gave this game so much shit. I still remember that. And I don't think X and Y are as bad as people say. As a matter of fact, I think one of the X and Y strengths, just randomly, is that how many Pokemon are available to you at the start. Which I know that sounds stupid, trust me. But going from Gens 1 through 5, your first few routes, you kind of get like the same old Pokemon, like the same kind of like generic Pokemon for that region. And maybe like they spice up a little bit, like they'll have like a rare Pokemon that has like something, I don't know, like stands out. X and Y They were like, let's just have like a whole different set of Pokemon for every route. Like, I swear to God, there's like 20 different unique Pokemon on every fucking route in this game. And I love it so much. You don't genuinely know what you're going to get into encounter with in the grass, and it was so cool. Like, this is a game that if you were to do a Nuzlocke for, and you were just doing it like straight up, no mods, no nothing, and you want a game to do a Nuzlocke for, X and Y, best one, easy. That's just no contender. But the reason why this game has a lot of playtime is this is when I was trying to get into competitive Pokemon, because they made it real easy in X and Y. I think now they made it even easier, but in X and Y, this is the easiest it was. And I really tried to get into competitive Pokemon, like real bad. And I never did because I found it really tedious to grind out the IVs and stuff for it. But there was a point where I did, and I actually did breed for good nature and good IVs. I think I only bred like one Pokemon, and that was the tree guy. What the fuck is his name? Oh my god, the ghost tree. You know, this guy. I don't know his name right now, but you'll see a picture of him on screen. I don't remember his name. I feel dumb. Because it's anything before Gen 6, like, I know all the names of the Pokemon. Anything after Gen 6, I fucking don't know, man. Outside of, like, a select few. Like, it's really weird, because, like, Sword and Shield made me feel like I was getting out of Pokemon. Didn't help that the Diamond and Pearl remakes were really bad. Well, they're playable. And if you don't play Diamond and Pearl to compare them to, they're alright. But as somebody like me who wants something like a Heart Gold, Soul Silver kind of remake, the Diamond and Pearl remakes feel flat. And I think that the biggest thing is I also hate is you can't bring any new Pokemon over. Like, alright, I get it. You don't want to include anything, that's not in the Galar Dex. That's fine. That's why I really think that it should have been. It should have been Diamond and Pearl Dex plus whatever is in the Galar Dex. You don't have to even make Pokedex entries, like do a Sun and Moon and be like, oh, you can use these Pokemon too, but like they don't count towards your Pokedex. I don't know, I just think that would be really cool. I was like half the fun with the remakes, I think. It's just seeing new Pokemon in these old games. But now you can't even see that. That's like another thing that actually really deters me from the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I feel like I'll play them at one point. Just because I am still a big Pokemon fan, but still. This is actually the first Tales of game I played, and I remember getting lost in it multiple different times, and then I actually lost my copy. So, that's awkward. I have the case for the game, but I do not have my copy. I lost it at my ex's house, and me and him have no idea what happened to it. And I'll never know, and I will never beat this game, apparently. So that's the thing. What else we got in here? New Leaf. Okay, this is the first game I actually downloaded on my 3DS. Like, first AAA game I ever downloaded in general. I was excited for this game, and then I dropped it after a week. This game did not hold my attention like New Horizons did. Like, New Horizons held my attention for months. Not even because, like, the update system. Just because, like, New Horizons... Like, people... may not like there are some features in it. Well, I don't know about it anymore because of the new update, but it may not like that. Like, oh, Dooley's got like more features. I'm like, fuck no. Like, Dooley has some things to it that I think are better, but genuinely, New Horizons held my attention way more just because of the amount of customization, the fact you can actually place and decorate the outside, which sounds really crazy. Like, I could imagine doing that in like New Leaf or any of the older games, and I don't know, I just think New Horizons still makes this game feel obsolete. That's my hot take about this. Pokemon Bank, because I remember waiting for this game to come out. I say it's a game when it's like software. It's really funny to me because like this game, this piece of software is going to be free soon. I think sometime in March they're just going to make it free, or is it August when the funds go off? Which is actually really nice of Pokemon Company to do. The fact that they still support this and then make it free because you can't add funds to it and still make the service online. Like, I think eventually Pokemon Bank will go offline. It might be one of the last things to go offline, but it will be the thing that goes offline eventually. And that's scary to me. Because it's like, there's a lot of Pokemon I have still stored in there, and I'm going to have to deal with that later. And then the other scary part about that is that when that goes offline, you can't transfer Gen 5 Pokemon over to Gen 6 anymore, or Gen 7, or upward at all. Pokemon Bank is the last thing, the last piece connecting the older games to the newer games. And once that goes offline, there's no way to do it unless you do some fucking weird ass homebrew hack, probably, which is a thing probably people have out there, which I 100% believe. If it's not out there now, it will be out there in the future, because I genuinely believe it. But it'll be really weird, because then only Gens 1 through 5, no, Gens 3 through 5 can connect to each other. And then that's it. It will stop at Gen 5 if you have Gen 5 games, and you can't import those Pokemon to X and Y. I still remember waiting for this to come out just so I can transfer my Black and White 2 Pokemon over to my copy of Pokemon X. But man, that's good. I will say though, it was so fucking nice when Bank was out and you could just plop them in there and then like, oh, I want to transfer my Pokemon from X and Y to Sun and Moon. There you go, they're in there. You don't have to do anything extra. It's like, no, you just take them out, put them in, there you go. Home kind of does that now as well. But, you can't really do it with every Pokemon. I do like that Home has a national dex in it, though. That's cool. But it's still, I don't know. I think Bank was still a better service. But it's still just, it is what it is, basically. When Pokemon Bank goes offline, I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to be sad as hell, man. I'll give a special mention to this demo because this is how you get Mega Gallade. This demo was really cool and I played the shit out of it. I say, even though I had like only an hour and 50. Well, I did replay it a few times because I was like, I really wanted this game to come out. It's a good game. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Dillon's World in Western is a game I really wanted to get into, but I genuinely don't like it. I was like, oh, Dillon, he's got a really cute character design. Oh, this game seems interesting. It's a 3DS exclusive. I will play it. I fucking hated it. I hated it so much. I don't know, maybe I was playing it wrong? I don't know. Because I was trying to do the tower defense stuff, and I was also trying to do the combat well too, but I just remember feeling overwhelmed with it and feeling that if you buy into the tower defense stuff, just a little bit, you'll have no money for equipment. But if you buy new equipment, you'll have no money for the tower defense stuff. I just remember it being like really frustrating and just like extremely difficult for like no reason. It wasn't like a fun difficulty. It was like you have literally no resources. Beat up this horde of people. Have fun. I know they made 2 sequels, so this game was obviously successful to some degree, but I genuinely did not like this game. Wish I could like it though. The main character's cute. Okay, this is like the best 3DS game though, hands down. Well, okay, maybe not my personal favorite, but genuinely, I am so sad that this game is stuck on the 3DS. I remember people bitched about the controls. Genuinely didn't think the controls were that bad. Love Uprising though. Genuinely a really good game. If you're listening to this and you have a 3DS and you can somehow get a copy of this game, highly recommend it. Holy fucking shit. I did not play this game immediately when it came out. I played it like, I think a few years after. But genuinely so fucking good. It still is. Oh my god. There's so many things to unlock in this game too. I've never unlocked everything. I never want to be 100% completionist for this game. I think that would drive me insane. Well, a lot of things would drive me insane, but that would. But genuinely good shit right here. I also like the twist they do too. Like gotta do it in the middle. There's a lot of good songs in this game. This game's got a fucking banger soundtrack. It looks so good for 3DS. I do not know how this would control anything else. Like you'd have to do some weird gyro shit to get this to work. Such a good third-person shooter. Holy shit. I'm surprised this is back here. I bought this at a GameStop that was going out of business. Well, no, it wasn't going out of business. They were closing that particular GameStop. It was in a mall nearby. And they were closing it down. And they were having a big sale on a lot of things. I got an extra copy of Pokemon Sun, which I was debating about keeping the sale, but I'm like, no. I'll keep it just to have another save file. Which I didn't think about when I bought it, but then I thought about that afterwards, and I was like, that's actually really nice. I was hoping they were gonna have Moon, so I'd have Sun and Moon. So in the future, when I want to do complete decks for, well, I already completed my decks in the Sun, but if I want to do it again for some fucking weird ass reason, I could do it. But anyway, either way, I got this as well. I played it for like 20 minutes. I was like, oh, that's neat. Probably if I really wanted to play Star Fox 64, this is probably the way I would do it. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of Star Fox. I like Fox and Wolf, and I like when artists draw Fox and Wolf, especially when artists draw Fox and Wolf. But like, Star Fox games are just kind of like okay. I really wish it wasn't. I wish I had more to say, but I'm just like they're okay, I guess. This game was a fucking meme, genuinely, and it stayed for a while. I feel like this is basically the precursor to what was it, Miitomo? Even then, I think Tomodachi Life had a DS version in Japan only, and they made it in. They transferred it to made it everywhere. And this game was fucking popular. I just remember seeing this game nonstop. I remember seeing content creators making games for this game nonstop, and it was just funny meme game. I think nowadays Tomodachi Life is really weird and hard to get into, and I think it gets really repetitive real fast. Shoutouts to the fact that when this game first launched in Japan, there was a glitch to make your characters gay, and it was patched out because Nintendo was like, that's a glitch to be homosexual. And then fucking articles wrote, there's so many articles about that. I still remember that, and I was like, wow, this is at the time where I was openly gay too, and I felt really fucking weird. Like, I wasn't gonna, like, boycott it, and they were like, oh, in the future Tomodachi games, maybe you can be gay, but nope. That's something, alright? I just think it's really funny to think about the idea that being gay is a glitch in a video game, and it was not intentional, and it was patched out. This is so fucking weird. This is a demo for Super Smash Brothers. I just remember when this demo came out, because you got it as a code part of, I think it's like Club Nintendo or whatever it was at the time. I don't know if it was My Nintendo or whatever the fuck it was called. They gave you a code and like, here, you can play Smash early just to try it out. So many people wanted this code that when, because I think they gave you extras to give to your friend. I know they did it with TriForce Heroes. But they would give you like some extra codes so you can give it to your friends so you can all play Smash or TriForce Heroes or whatever. I remember these codes going for like $20 to $50 on eBay because people really wanted to play Smash that badly. Really funny, but really fucking sad. This is a game you play for an hour. It sucks. And I think this is easily the worst Mystery Dungeon game. I played it because my friend had a copy of it, and he's like, I don't want this game, it's so bad, here you have it. I was like, this game can't be that bad, and I just couldn't stomach the first hour. It's something. I think this is also the first Pokemon game where you had limited decks, because I think it only had the Unova Pokemon and Pikachu. And like Pikachu's evolution line, that's like it. I remember people were really upset about that. And to think that was a precursor to what would become a Pokemon, very weird to think about it that way too, because the previous two Mystery Dungeon games, for people who didn't know, had the full dexes in them. Mystery Dungeon Blue and Red Rescue Team had all the Hoenn decks. Explorers of Time in Sky and Darkness, they had the whole Sinnoh decks. This game only had Unova Pokemon, didn't have the whole Unova decks and the whole national Unova decks. And then after that, they were X and Y, they did Super Mystery Dungeon, and that one had every single Pokemon released up to that point. And now we will never get that ever again. Just think about that for a moment there. Unless Mystery Dungeon is really unhinged and they make a new game and it has the Sword and Shield Pokemon and every other Pokemon before that, which I can see Mystery Dungeon being that unhinged because they brought back fucking Mega Evolution and Mystery Dungeon only and did nothing else. Is this the 3DS? Yeah, this is the 3DS Flipnote Studio. It was okay. I mean, it's nice to have it. It has quality of life, but it didn't have Flipnote antenna, so it's like, really? Really? So like, It's nice to animate with, but like, who are you gonna sell unless you download your SD? Unless you put out your SD card, download and move it. It's so fucking weird, man. Red Academy is a game I wish I should have played more and actually learned from. It's really neat, and I like it when the AI draws because they draw like really bad on purpose, and it's really funny. This is a game I think I wanted to get into, and I never did. Yeah, because I think this is the Monster Hunter. Because I remember people on my Twitter timeline back in the day were like, "Oh my god, I love Monster Hunter. Everybody should play this." And I was like, "Okay, I'll play it." Except I'm at the very beginning, and this game already feels repetitive as hell. And it also didn't help that a lot of the people who were doing hunts were doing stuff like late game and end game, and I'm like, I'm not even remotely there. And I don't want to be. This Monster Hunter is not for me. I think Rise was the only one where I really liked because Rise just has that really fucking good movement. This game was okay. Not for me though. Little shoutouts to Pokemon Dream Radar, which is for some reason a fucking video game you can play. It's just a really weird AR game that you really just only get so you can get like the 3 legendaries for Pokemon Black and White 2. That's it. Nothing else to say there. Really second demo, I'm just gonna say this is the only demo I've 100%ed. Even the demo calls it something different. It's like I think the demo is canon. I want to say it's canon to the game story, but it's like so minimal. And it's like, oh, neat. And if you beat it, you get a lot of items for when you actually start the actual game, which is cool. Nothing crazy like the Bravely Default one. Because I think Bravely Default, if you play the demo for that, you get like a bunch of good equipment. For this one, it's like you get items, like you get an elixir, which is nice. It's like nothing crazy though. Oh, wow, we're at the end already. Oh my god, yeah, we're at the end. Holy shit! I did not think we would burn through this so quickly. I thought I had more 3DS games. TriForce Heroes. Didn't really play this one. I wish I played it with friends, and the friends I wanted to play it with were in Europe. This game has region locked online. Think about that for a moment there. So I've never beaten Triforce Heroes. I'm wanting to play it at one point, but no, I never will. Colors 3D. I just got this because it's drawing near 3DS. I thought it was interesting. Never really touched it though. I prefer an actual tablet. Samus Returns is probably one of the last new 3DS games. No. That isn't the last new 3DS game. We haven't gotten there yet. But Samus Returns is a game I should probably go back to. It was really good. I got lost, and I got the Fireball, and I didn't really do much. Very glad that this team eventually made Dread, because you can tell that Dread is just this, but better. And I love it so much. Shouts to AR games. Nothing in particular. It just comes with every 3DS. I think AR games in general, it was a really cool thing to just mess around with. But, like, nothing crazy, and I'm glad it's really cool that it had unlocks within itself. I thought that was neat as well. Even if I don't think I'll ever play this ever again in my lifetime. It's a really neat tech demo, really cool game. Oh boy, I see it right there. Ultra Sun. I bought this game on release date, and I didn't beat it until years later. I thought this game was a drag and a half, and it actually made me hate modern Pokemon. There's a lot of good things about this game, I will say. The trainer AI is actually pretty smart, and they will swap out. They will do status moves. Like they do a lot of things that is actually cool. Outside of that, Rotom Dex talks to you every 5 seconds and want him to shut the fuck up. Oh my god, there's so many other issues I have with this game, but I'm not here to talk about it, because I'd go insane. I still have never played the post game on this one at all. For Black and White 2, I always saved it just for a rainy day, and I never got around to it, but I wanted to get around to it. This post game, which is interesting in theory, I never want to fucking touch, because I don't want to go through this game again, even though I have a beat game now. I remember, like, midway through, I just didn't give a shit, and I actually transferred Pokemon in mid-playthrough, and just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna storm through this game. I don't feel like it. like, I will admit, Ultra Sun, Pokemon Sun and Moon were very handholdy. And Ultra Sun, to some degree, probably is as well. But I could actually stand playing Sun and Moon. I can't stand playing Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Though I will say, the Necrozma fight, is that his name? That fight was fucking really cool. That was a genuinely really hard Pokemon fight. And like a wild Pokemon fight. That's a legendary, that's a hard legendary fight. I thought that was cool. Everything else about this game is really just not my least favorite Pokemon game, but it's down there. Reigning Historia got re-released on 3DS and not Switch. I think about that often. It's a really good re-release, and it feels really kind of sad that Chronology actually completes the story of Reigning Historia, because the original Reigning Historia didn't end on a cliffhanger, but it ended on a I guess the future will be better, but in a very vague way, and they just the problems don't get solved at the end. It was just more or less like we found maybe a solution to them, and then eventually they will get solved. That's it. Chronology actually solves that problem and fixes everything, and then you get a full closure. Which, you know what, in some ways that is cool, because that means it's all there now. But it also is kind of sad because we'll never get a sequel to this game. It will probably just be a one-off game, and it'll be lost forever. And I own 2 copies of this game. Very weird to think about. I also heard that this game was I don't know if it was a sequel or was a spiritual successor to a game on PS2 called Radiata Stories or some shit. I don't remember what. I just remember hearing something about it. I don't actually think it is, or I might be misremembering. Something to mention. Now, the last 3DS game I ever bought, unless you count Star Fox, I guess Star Fox technically would be it. Miitopia was the last 3DS game I played new. Why is my average playtime for this in second place? I don't like that. Miitopia is a video game. I think I like it in theory because I like RPGs with class systems, but Miitopia is repetitive as shit. I think if this game let you move around and just have random encounters on an overworld map, it would be 10 times better, but instead you watch your characters walk in a linear fucking line, and then random encounters just happen. There's still some funny, quirky things, and I think the Switch version is probably the better way to play this game anyways. I don't know, I thought this game was repetitive, and I did stick with it for a bit, when I just thought, I still think it's really kind of cool in theory, but not for me. Oh yeah, there was the fucking Ace Attorney trilogy as well. That's the thing I'd pile on here too. And yeah, the rest of these pages are blank, except for the very back. I've never actually maxed this out, but I don't think I ever could. Yes, I have the Master Certificate. I actually, I'll fill it off at the end of the video. Just because I have it downloaded. And then there's all your other stuff that's not games, but they're like, let's put it on here. Like SD card management, my favorite, and game notes, and my friends list, which, oh my god, look how many times I play with my friends list. I genuinely wish these weren't tracked. These are so dumb. Even the activity logs in here, it's like, oh, look, your average playtime. I've looked at the activity log for over 11 hours. 11 hours drought over, what, 10 years now? Oh my god, 3DS is 10 years old. Oh my god. I'm old. I'm gonna have an existential crisis right now thinking about that. You know what? StreetPass, you get a pass. I didn't mean that to be a pun. You get a pass because you're actually a game. Oh, look at how many. It's my most played game. I opened it 692 times. I will say this about StreetPass though, unironically. We will never get something like StreetPass ever again, and that makes me kind of sad. Was StreetPass really that good? Not really. I'm gonna admit to you that right now. It's not really that good. But we'll never get something like this ever again, and that makes me a little bit sad inside. And I think about that sometimes, because it's this was such a unique thing that was definitely supposed to only work in Japan. I will be honest, outside of conventions, I almost street pass like nobody. Like even when I went to college, even when I was in high school, I didn't street pass anybody. I went to one convention, so many street passes, and then now if I were to bring this to a convention, I wouldn't get any. Like maybe one. I'll get like the one other person who's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to a con in 2021, no 2022, and bring a fucking 3DS. Also, I just realized I said earlier that it was 10 years ago. I meant 11 years. I forgot it was 2022. But yeah, I genuinely am surprised this is a thing. I mean, obviously, you could tell that this was a feature that was meant really to only be to work in Japan. Because Japan, everybody's way more like crowded together, and you're more likely to bump into actual people. Where in America, that's unless you're like in school or you're in college or maybe at work. It's not really likely because we have cars and we don't really have public transport in some places, and yeah. But goddamn, it was so cool to get a street pass because it made you feel like that there are other people who played games like you, and it was really cool to like feel that in person. Especially when I was growing up, I didn't know a lot of people who played video games, like especially like the stuff I was into. And while I know that stuff is popular, especially popular, but you don't really see it that much in person, and it made you. It was so nice, even if the rewards for it were kind of whatever. I think I will end this off with a few things in particular, because now we talked about all my little memories, just little reviews and stuff. I didn't talk about. Oh my god, what is it trying to be? Oh, is it actually talking about the news here? I'm actually curious now. Is it saying the thing that they just posted about? Oh yes. Yeah, it is. It's really depressing. Funny I got that just now. It says March 2023, but the thing about that is that it's actually ending way sooner. August 29th, I want to say, 2020, you can't add funds anymore, so yeah, you might as well just end there. Still really sad to see that. So, I thought about turning this video off. I want to show a few things. It should be on here somewhere. This is making me age rapidly when I see this here. So this is the ambassador certificate. Genuinely doesn't do anything. Like, it's not in a game. It's nothing crazy like that. So to check my SD card, it's just a video. That's it. So you're probably wondering what this is, especially because now I bet this is old as hell, and you're not like me, who got a 3DS around release. So back in the day, the 3DS actually was not selling well its first year, because nothing sells well in its first year, unless you are the Switch and you have a unique gimmick and Breath of the fucking Wild. But yeah, because of that, they lowered the price eventually, and then when they did, they were like, well, to reward those people who actually, downloaded or not downloaded, who actually bought the 3DS before the price drop and were there for the very beginning, and it's also cycling in different languages. I did not know that was a thing. Oh my god. It's in French, it's in Spanish, it's in... I don't know what these languages are. But if you had it before the price drop, you would get an ambassador certificate, which is this program, which literally does nothing. I don't even know why it's here. It's like I guess a brag thing. And you would get 20 free games. I have some of them on here now. And 10 of those games never got released normally. People thought they would get released, and it was just an early thing, but I think I have all those games on here. No, I have some of them. I have Minish Cap, and I have Fire Emblem, Wario Land 4, Metroid Fusion, F-Zero, Maximum Velocity. Basically, all the 10 GBA games never got released any other time. People thought they were going to, and then Nintendo was like, well, The 3DS cannot handle emulating GBA games, even though that's bullshit. Like, clear bullshit. Like, look at this. Look at this. Are you telling me? You telling me this is not real? You telling me this is fake? You telling me this is homebrewed? I'll tell you what, it's not. But yeah, because of that, well, I have Minish Cap on my 3DS, legitimately. And they give me like a little thing like that, and then the other 10 games are like generic ass like NES games, like shit you would see like Nintendo would always republish, like Super Mario Bros, some other shit, blah blah blah. I mean, I think at the time, like Super Mario Bros being ported to 3DS was still maybe a cool thing. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not as cool as I would think. So yeah, it was really cool to get all that, and I generally think about that sometimes too. And now the last thing I think we're gonna do before I end this video off for good is we're gonna go into my Mi Plaza. Oh, I never talked about that. There was a sticker shop, which I think they discontinued this genuinely because I keep trying to get into Badge Arcade just randomly, and I could never get back into it. And I genuinely think they just discontinued Badge Arcade. Like, I'll even try it right now, but I genuinely think they just discontinued this. It says my SD card has an error. I don't fully believe that. But, yeah. Oh, I think I might have... My StreetPass stuff might be because my SD card definitely is not full. I think because like because you can only save so much StreetPass data at once. That might be it. I genuinely don't know why. So maybe it still is a thing. I don't know. I'd like to actually go on it before if it is still a thing, I'd like to go on it before they close out the shop. But I do like that you can get like new icons for your home menu because that was really cool. And those were the only real badges that were getting to, in my opinion. The rest of them were kind of like, oh, cool, you can put it on a folder or just have like the icon out, like this. Like you could just I can open that like, oh look, it's your badge. So cool. It's just I don't know. I didn't like it, but I like stuff like this though. Oh, I just can't see it, but I liked it when it was like, yeah, look at that. It's like it's a replacement for your StreetPass. You don't need the icon for that anymore. You can't get rid of it or swap it out, which is dumb. So you have 2 StreetPass icons if you do that. But hey, it was neat. Here we are. That's how many Mii characters I've collected over the past 11 years. I guess like a quick thing. The way I want to end this off, I could fucking go through all these fucking Miis, but I'm not going to. Oh my god, I don't even know who any of these people are. Well, I know who some of them are. Go through my StreetPass map, actually. I think the red means like a new location, because I haven't checked this in a while. I haven't StreetPass people in those states. I got one person in Australia at one point. Oh my god, I got one person in Belgium? Really? Germany? Wow. Norway, Russia, UK, Japan, none. I don't know what fucking country that is. Canada, I've got a few. That's cool. Colombia, no. Ecuador, 1. Mexico, 1. It's actually kind of cool because it's like going to conventions exposes you to a lot of people. So because of that, that's probably how I got almost all of this spilled out. And I'm surprised I have other regions there as well. Oh, there's like some BRP fucking StreetPass thing. I'm good. I think this also is part of it as well. It may not be. No, you just give you all the songs. That's cool. Didn't know that. It was also kind of hype when they made Fighting Me 2, I'm not gonna lie. And they like expanded on the mechanics. They made that final boss really fucking hard. But I think what we're gonna do... Oh wait, I think it wants me to... Yeah, let me get rid of it, because I actually do have a StreetPass apparently. We're doing that. Anyways, you can see all the StreetPass games. This is the only one you get for free. And then the other ones are... I didn't get any of these. I know there's some people who really like these games too, but they were never for me. I just didn't have the money to spend on a fucking StreetPass game. This, however... Oh my god. Puzzle Swap was my addiction. I tried to complete every single puzzle, and I've gotten very close, I think. I remember I got mostly all of them. I remember always getting excited when they put a new puzzle out, because it was so cool. And then you would StreetPass people like, oh my god, you have that rare piece and I don't. Here, you can take mine, you can take, I'll take yours, and it was so cool. And I think I actually did. Did I complete everything? I just don't remember it. I might have. Yeah, because that's complete. That's complete. I swear one of the... Oh, here we go. We got some Triple Deluxe I didn't complete. 3D Worlds. Yoshi's New Island. Mega Man. I think that's it, though. Oh, no. Sonic Boom. Treasure Tracker. Yeah, it's looking like it. And I'm not missing any rare pieces, which is nice. Yeah, they made them a lot smaller, and the 3DS was like dying off. And it's like really sad, but sadly understandable. You know what? Just for the hell of it, I'm actually gonna just get a few of these. Just have some closing thoughts here. But I'm really sad to see the 3DS beat Wold. Like I said in the first video, or if I did say in the first video, it's been almost a year since that video. Oh god. I remember when this thing came out and it blew my mind. The fact you can have such like, well at the time, really good quality graphics on a handheld system was crazy to me. I didn't own a PSP, so there's also that as well, so maybe I would have not have felt the same way if I did. I don't know, it's just so cool to see, and it's just... I had a lot of memories with this thing. I remember when X and Y was announced, and it was the first 3D Pokemon games, that's XD and Coliseum. And I was like, oh my god, it's actually a mainline game in 3D. That's gonna be so cool. I remember following Bravely Default, just being excited for that. Ah, man, I bought so many fucking 3DS games too. Well, I mainly played DS games on here too, and it was really nice for that as well. It's sad, man. And I went through so many different 3DSs too. Like, yeah, I have this one. But my original 3DS was the original black model. I remember I got it for my birthday, and I was like really, really excited. And I loved that thing. And then I wanted to upgrade to an XL. Because I was like, I play this thing a lot. I think an XL would just be really nice, and I did. I upgraded to the Pokemon X and Y XL. I don't have that anymore. I also don't have my original. So my original 3DS, I actually gave to a friend of mine who didn't have a 3DS. I was like, well, I upgraded. I don't really need it. But I wanted to keep it, though, just for training Pokemon and the such. But I was like, you know what? Might as well. I'm not really using it. So I gave it away. And I think that thing has been, like, destroyed. And it's literally, the age of time has consumed it. I remember last time I saw it a few years ago. He tore off like the fucking dump pad, and I was like, oh my. I know some people don't like the little dump grip on here too. Like they tear off the rubber plastic, whatever the hell it's called, because they think it feels nicer. Meanwhile, I'm just like, I guess indifferent to it. I think I like it there more than I don't like it there, if that makes any sense. And then, like I said, I got the Pokemon X and Y one. I got the blue one, and I thought it was really cool to have like a themed 3DS. Not knowing they were gonna make so many different themed 3DSs. Because like I always see like people with like cool ones like that, or it's like a themed like handheld. I'm like, wow, that looks like a really rare and cool one. I want something like that. Just to, so it's not just a bland color. And I did a lot of those with 3DS, so it made them feel like more and less special at the same time. More special because there's so many unique options to choose from, but less special in the sense of like there's so many of them, so it's like It's not like some collector's item. Well, it still is, especially now. I bet they're a pain in the ass to get. I'd love to get more 3DSs like that too in the future, maybe if I go that crazy and I have a lot of money. But then I finally upgraded to this 3DS. So another thing about that X and Y 3DS, which I no longer own, because once again I gave it to another friend of mine because I wanted him to play. I don't know if there was anything in particular. I might have been. So we had DS for TwiiWii because I told him to get into TwiiWii, but all I remember is I gave it to that friend, and the first thing he does with it is he gets NCS to sign it. So Nintendo Capri Sun's autograph is on it, wherever that may be. The last thing I heard is that he lost it because his parents threw it out on him because his parents didn't thought it was trash and didn't think that something he wanted to keep. And I remember being furious because it was like, the X and Y theme one. And I loved that thing. The only to hear about, I gave it to my friend who wanted to use it, but then his parents threw it out on him because they were like, "Oh, we didn't know you wanted this," during like a move or something like that. And that like infuriates me. Like, it made me wish I didn't give it to him if I knew that was gonna be the fate of the thing. Like, I'm very glad if he did get to use it that he used it, but I'm sad that like it was gonna get thrown out, and it's not his fault, so I'm not even angry at him. But it just sucks that to hear that, hey, here's the thing I cherished. Here, I'm giving it to you so you could use it. It's like his parents just do that. Not like his parents know me or anything, but still, I think about that sometimes, and it makes me a little annoyed. But like I said, I'm not angry at him. It happens. It just sucks that was the fate of that thing. So I remember upgrading to this. This was the Majora's Mask Nintendo new 3DS. Because I wanted a new 3DS just in case there's games just for it. I'm going to tell you right now, getting a new 3DS is not fucking worth it. Like, it will run some games faster. Not a lot. There are some games that only run 3DS. Binding of Isaac and Xenoblade Chronicles. Outside of that, I don't think anything does. And like, the secondary stick on it is really nice, but I don't think it works with games that actually like use the secondary stick half the time. I think some do, some don't. I don't think it works with Kid Icarus, for example. There are some other games I can think of that doesn't work with it. It works with Majora's Mask though. It actually does make Majora's Mask run and play smoother, which is cool. But man, they really were like, we're gonna make this and make no unique games for it, so it just seemed kind of like a rip-off. And it did load up faster too, especially when this thing was new, but now this thing is so old, like it loads up pretty slow, and it makes me feel depressed. It makes me want to get a new one, but like to replace a new 3DS in new condition and not get like something like a new 2DS, very hard as hell when Nintendo has discontinued that stuff. And then on top of that, oh, I'm sorry if I'm moving this around by accident. And on top of that, like, you can only get that kind of stuff off of eBay, and then that's questionable the quality, and if it's new, and if it's in English in your region, because this was the first handheld, and luckily the only handheld the Nintendo region launched. So yeah, I completed the Monster Hunter one. That's cool. I really hate how they give you like duplicate pieces, but I get it because they really want you to trade with other people, but man, it's stupid. We'll go for like one more, and then I'm just going to end it, because I'm going to be here for a while if I just keep doing this. So yeah, that was my little 3DS retrospective. The second part that meant to come out years ago, but then the news just made me feel like I should do it now. I got like a lot of comments on the last video too. People actually knew who the Nintendo 3DS guy was. I think I called them like something different, like Nintendo DS guy or Nintendo 2DS or something like that. And I don't know why, and I cut that in post, and I felt really embarrassed, even though his username was clearly Nintendo 3DS. Which I checked. I don't think the channel still hasn't uploaded anything. It's just been dead. But I was very surprised to see so many comments on the last one, because it was just kind of a spur on the moment. But yeah, finally did that sequel. It took the Wii and 3DS shop closing announcement for me to do it. Which, by the way, it's not in March. I mean, it technically is in March, but like it technically closes off in August because that's when they'll stop funds. Like, it's sad. So yeah, if you watch this, I don't know how long this is going to be. Probably an hour is strong, I would guess. Well, maybe not an hour, more like 50 minutes. That sounds about right. And thanks, I appreciate it. And if you didn't, and you just get to the end of the video just to hear me say thanks, why? Who are you? Why are you here? Please leave my house. I don't know, I got nothing else to say. But thanks for watching. Goodbye, and have a good one. And remember, this thing right here is old as fuck, and that makes me sad.